Okay, we're going to construct a congruent angle. So the first thing I'm going to do is, just for some reference, I'm going to call this angle angle A, just so I can refer to it. And we're going to start out and we're going to make a ray anywhere we want to in this space. Now, the rays do not have to be the same length. When you copy an angle, what you're concerned about is that the angle measures remain the same. So this isn't going to look exactly oriented the same way, but this is how we're going to start. So I just drew a ray. Now I'm going to go back to my original. You're going to put the gold part on the vertex of the angle, which is point A, and you can pick any number you want on here, and we're going to make an arc. The only requirement is we want to touch both sides of the angle. I'm going to pick, if you guys can see, the number 50. And I'm just going to make this so it crosses both sides. And I'm going to label those intersections B and C just as a reference. Now, I want to come over. I used the whole 50, so I want to use the same exact one when I'm copying over here. So I'm going to put the gold piece on point A again, and I'm going to use the 50, and I'm just going to make an arc. And I'm going to try and make it about the same, maybe a little bit bigger than the arc on my original angle. Now, what we need to do is figure out how to connect up and make the other side of this angle. I'm going to call this little point B prime in my construction to correspond to where I labeled this point B in the other construction. Now, what we need to figure out is point C prime in our construction. What you're going to do here, you're going to put the gold part on point B and then move this around until you get a hole that goes right through point C. If you used a different hole than I used 50 on the first thing. If you use something different, you might get a different number. But it looks like that point is going through, or that hole is going through C. So 31, 2, 3, this is 34. So I'm on point B and I'm going through 34. So I'm going to slide over to my construction, put the gold part on B prime, and I'm going to go up to 31, 2, 3, 4, and you're just going to make a little arc. Now, where that intercepts the other arc that you had drawn, that's going to be your C prime, and then the only step you have left to do is connect up the vertex of that angle with that intersection. And there I have copied these two angles are the same measure. Okay, just because this one's a little tricky, I'm going to repeat the process for how you construct congruent angles. So just as a reference, I'm going to call the vertex of this angle A. When you start out constructing a congruent angle, just want to draw yourself a ray. And so I'm going to come over here, just use the straight edge side of my comtractor. I'm going to call this point A prime. This will be the vertex of my constructed angle. After you've done that, come back to the given angle, and I'm going to put the gold piece on A, and I'm going to make an arc. And the only requirement is that I touch both sides of my angle. I'm using the number 30, and you can see I ran into both sides. Just going to call these intersections B and C so I can reference them. Now, I used the number 30. It's make sure you remember the hole that you used. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to use the 30, and I'm just going to make an arc, kind of about the same size, maybe a little bit larger than on my original drawing. Once I do that, this point will be my B prime to correspond to the previous angle we had, and we're going to have to figure out where C goes. So to do that, sorry, C prime, you're going to put the gold piece on B in the original angle and figure out which hole goes through C. Now for my construction, that looks like 51, 2, 3, 4, 55. So you want to keep that one. Now I have my gold piece on B, so when I slide over to my construction, I'm going to be on B prime, and I'm going to use that 55. So I'm on B prime now. 55 was the hole that matched up with point C, so you're just going to make an arc there. Where that intersects, you're going to call that C prime. And then to complete copying the angle, you're going to connect these points, A prime and C prime. And now I've constructed, again, a congruent angle.